Hey guys, welcome to the first half of the commentary of the top 10 other Disney villains. My name is Matt Brunet. You may know me more as Animat, the guy who pretty much made this video. And if I can be very honest, not only is this one of my favorite top 10s that I've ever done, but I can honestly say that this is one of my favorite videos that I've done, and let me explain why. Now, the original concept of how all this came to be is pretty much that I wanted to do a spiritual successor to the most popular video that I've ever done, the top 10 scariest Disney moments. And there are some elements that are very similar with this top 10 and my popular top 10, which is, well, they're both top 10s, of course. And they discuss about the dark side of Disney, like mostly their dark elements. And there are even some numbers that they do share, like that they're both very like they both come from the same thing, like Something Wicked This Way Comes and The Haunted Mansion. So I decided to go with it, but there is another goal. Oh my god, it's my old room setup. My god. Like, I think this is one of the last videos I've ever done with that setup before having the major renovation and getting my new desk and all that kind of stuff, where you see me, like, in my corner with everything around me. But, going back to this top 10, one of the biggest goals that I wanted to do is that I wanted to do a top 10 that no one else has ever seen, trying to make a really creative top 10. And I did get requests to do the top 10 Disney villains, and I might still have to this day. But the biggest thing is that I really don't want to do that because, as I explained in the video, everybody has done that. I mean, like, what am I going to do if I do a top 10 Disney villains? It's going to be the same thing. You know what's going to be on top, like Maleficent, Chernabog, the Evil Queen, and all that stuff. Like, it's not really going to count. So I decided to put a new spin onto this and look at every other villains that need to be discussed. I mean, there are honestly a lot of villains that are really overlooked, and like they do count as Disney villains. And also, like, as I stated in the video, they do not count like the Star Wars villains and also the Marvel villains because they're more in their own category. But the whole point was to do like this new spin on a top 10 list everybody knows about. And also another thing I wanted to do, and it's to prove myself, was that I wanted to do my own spin on the top 10. If you have seen my videos beforehand, like my other top lists, including the top 10 scariest Disney moments, the top 10 best animated sequels, and the top 10, what was it? Oh, the worst films based on a cartoon. All of them, they pretty much were inspired very heavily on the nostalgia critic, to the point that, like, I'm basically copying the style, and it's just that, like, I will admit, I do get criticisms for that, and, you know, like, I hate to admit it, but, like, it is kind of true with it. So, with this one, I decided to do different things, especially how I introduce the numbers and stuff like that, and I feel very satisfied where I feel like I've finally gotten my own voice, where this is not a Nostalgia Critic ripoff top 10, this is an Animat top 10, and I'm very, very satisfied with it. And also, I think this is also the first video that I've gotten with my first, with the DSLR camera. It was one of the first that I've ever gotten with it. So it definitely feels very, so like when you see me on camera, it actually does feel very high quality. So, oh my god, I just forgot about all that beeping I did with Negaduck. Oh my god, that is true with Negaduck. I remember as a kid, like, I used to watch a lot of Darkwing Ducks. In fact, I think I'm not 100% sure if I would consider myself a Disney afternoon kid, but I would categorize myself maybe more as a Cartoon Network kid. So, I definitely love those shows. But I have watched like Darkwing Duck, DuckTales, and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I think that's basically, I got all the concepts out of the way for for like the whole point of the top 10. So anyways, let's get, oh yes, this actually applies to my rule where I don't want to incorporate other villains from the same franchise, because I'll be honest, I could have easily put it in Sid from the first Toy Story, or oh my god, I'm drawing a blank, fudge nabbit, but the guy Kelsey Grammer Stinky Pete. Like, I could have added Stinky Pete to the list from Toy Story 2, but, like, I want to do one at a time to bring in more of a variety because a lot of them need to be mentioned. But Lotso is definitely a threatening villain, and I think out of all the Pixar villains, outside of with one exception, which you'll know later on, he has, like, one of the best backstories, and, you know, you can definitely feel for him for having such for being abandoned and stuff like that. So it's enough of a reason to be so evil. And I gotta say, I absolutely I'll be honest, I adore Toy Story 3. Honestly, I still consider it one of the best animated features I have ever seen, and hands down my favorite of the Toy Story franchise. But that could be more of a personal reason, mostly because I actually kid you not, Andy was pretty much the same age in Toy Story 3 as me, and let's be honest, Toy Story 3 was definitely made for the people who grew up with Toy Story, the ones who have seen Toy Story and Toy Story 2 in theaters back when they were a kid, and I was definitely one of them. Which could definitely explain how in my review of the video, my review of the movie, I gave it like a perfect 10 out of 10. Like where everything, story, characters, animation, they all got 10 out of 10. Like, and you guys probably know me as a reviewer, it's extremely rare that I would give a movie a 10 out of 10. Like, I don't hand them out like freaking candy. Not even the Animat seal of approval, I gave them out like candy. Oh yeah. Oh, the big ultimate middle finger, which results in this scene. Like, oh my god. Like, I'm sure everybody would want to kill Lotso after this scene happens. Like, I mean, like, look at this. How tragic is all this that everybody, like, is almost to their doom in the incinerator. Oh, and there's Totoro. Lol. Alright, let's see the next one. By the way, I would like to mention also that this top 10 actually follows the tradition that I would do normally, where when you look at the like when I show a number, if you look in the back, that's actually from number 11 from 20 to 11. Oh my god. Oh yes, that is true. I added in Jeffrey Katzenberg. You know, I don't mean to be mean-spirited with this. This is mostly like kind of like jokes and gags, but if there is a specific movie or there's a specific thing that happened outside of live action where I would consider him a villain, like his origin story of how he became a Disney villain would mostly come from the documentary of Waking Sleeping Beauty, which, if I could be honest, is one of my favorite documentaries. It's just so good. But it is true when you think about it, because Jeffrey has done so much to contribute to the Disney company, and he's actually one of the people responsible for oh yeah, this scene. He's one of the people responsible for bringing in the Disney Renaissance. Oh yes. That actually took me a long time just to fit all the faces in, where not only I have Jeffrey as Javert, I pretty much have Glenn Keane as Jean Valjean, and then I also have there's Eric Goldberg. I also have John Musker and Ron Clements. Like, it took a while, and it wasn't easy, and I'll admit that it wasn't the best that I have done, but like it was definitely a nice little gag that I did. Yeah, exactly. Like, it's because of Jeffrey that like we actually got all these movies. And by the way, I highly, highly, highly recommend that you guys go and see the documentary Waking Sleeping Beauty. It really is interesting. And like it is really understandable why Jeffrey feels like he got betrayed by Disney, especially with Michael Eisner, because it was because the unfortunate death of Frank Wells that Jeffrey found this as an opportunity to go and be the president of Walt Disney Studios, but Michael Eisner said no. And it's actually because of Michael Eisner that we pretty much have DreamWorks Animation, which I'm not going to say that DreamWorks Animation is evil. It's such an incredible animation studio, definitely fantastic, and it truly deserves to be such a powerhouse and Disney's biggest competition, especially with movies like the Shrek franchise, Madagascar, Kung Fu Panda, and How to Train Your Dragon. Those are all phenomenal. But I gotta say, but it is true, like, because when you do think about it, like, what can be a better Disney villain than real-life competitors? Like, just think about it. Doesn't that make sense? And especially when you see Shrek, which is like, everybody keeps on saying that it's a hidden metaphor to be like this giant middle finger to the Disney company. Even Lord Farquaad himself was actually modeled after, who was it again? It was, yeah, Lord Farquaad was modeled after Michael Eisner. So it does make sense that you can see why, like, how Jeffrey can be counted as an evil villain in this, but not like a Disney villain per se. A villain to Disney. He's not a villain himself. He's definitely a fantastic businessman. He's just, to Disney, he is a villain, and that's why I put him on the list. And I thought it was really a cute addition. But I do wonder, this is very unlikely, but I wonder how Jeffrey Katzenberg would feel if he sees this video. I wonder. Like, I don't know, like, I don't want to hurt his feelings to call him a Disney villain, but I want to know, like, how he would feel to be on the top 10 list of other Disney villains. I don't know, that would be kind of hilarious. I don't know, but yeah, we'll wait and see. Alright, next up, what do we got here? Number 7. It's been so long since I've even seen this video myself. I don't even recall, like, which ones that I put in, so this is as much of a surprise as me. Oh, Pete! Okay. The one thing I will admit about Pete is that he's a lot like Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs in a way, because Pete as a villain himself, he's not really the best villain. He's more, like, to be very honest, he's really, really goofy. But, well, not like that goofy, but I mean more like, he's kind of like, you don't really take him seriously as a villain. But it's more his historical significance that really makes him so incredible, and why people really forgive him as a villain. And oh yeah, and also I gotta admit, I really do like the three Mickey, Goofy, and Donald, the Three Musketeers. That was a really great. I'm not gonna say a great movie, but definitely a really nice movie. I would recommend it. But funny enough, I will say about Pete is that the one thing I know what I had to do with Pete is that I had to do my impression in there, because a while back, like sometime before this video, I actually made this impressions video where I tried to do all the Disney villains singing "I'll Slaughter the World," which is a parody of A Part of Your World. And like, the impressions themselves, they're more hit and miss, but the two impressions that everybody agreed that they are my finest moments there, one of them was King Candy from Wreck-It Ralph. Somehow a lot of people enjoy that. By the way, have some candy. And the other one a lot of people enjoy was my Pete impression. So I knew that if I am going to put Pete on this list, I had to go and do my Pete impression. I don't know how, I don't know what I need to do, but I decided to go and do a little epic Mickey thing to do my Pete impression. So yeah. Actually, I just noticed something. In this video, well, in the next part, but both part 1 and part 2 combined, I actually did an impression of both Pete and Mickey Mouse. You'll see later on what I mean. Oh yeah, and like that's actually one of the biggest things that I'm surprised that not a lot of people have really acknowledged, is that technically Pete is actually the longest running Disney character, period. Not just the longest running Disney villain, but probably the longest running, yeah, maybe even the longest running cartoon villain ever made. Because like he is even more, he's older than both Mickey and Oswald the Lucky Rabbit, so it's actually pretty incredible that he's still going. And like you gotta give Pete a lot of respect, like even when he's like being dirty and nasty and all that stuff. And so yeah, that's definitely a nice addition with Pete, I gotta say. So I knew I had to put him in. All right, next up, who do we got? Wait, oh, I know what's coming up. Yes, definitely a fantastic villain, and I gotta say, like I said, it's not easy putting, like, I'm sure a lot of people might be offended to feel like someone like Judge Doom would be at number 6, but it's definitely, like, it wasn't easy, but he's definitely a fantastic villain, and oh my god, definitely one of Christopher Lloyd's finest moments. Like, a lot of people may know him more with Doc Brown and stuff like that, but definitely amazing in Who Framed Roger Rabbit. No one can ever deny that. Maybe, I think his role as Judge Doom could be as how could I put that? Okay, yeah, it's pretty much the second most respected role that Christopher Lloyd has ever done. But I will say that, like, compared to his career now, it's just rather sad because I think, like, not too long ago, I've actually watched the Oogie Loves in the Big Balloon Adventure, and like Christopher Lloyd was out there. He was playing this. He was being this over-the-top bongos guy, and he lives in a giant sombrero, and like the whole movie of the Oogie Loves itself, it's just. That's just pure madness right there, but oh my god. Just just like having Christopher Lloyd in there, it's like, dude, you were Doc Brown and Dr. Doom, what the fridge are you doing? And yes, this moment. Oh yeah, like, how could that, like, I'm sure this has scared a lot of people. I mean, and this is probably one of the reasons how like, this is more for older kids. I'll be honest, I would not recommend Who Framed Roger Rabbit to everyone. Not to, like, this is one of the more, okay, I think I'll put it like this. Who Framed Roger Rabbit is a movie that I would say is rated E10. Like, if it were a video game, it's rated T for teen or E10. That's the best way to describe it, because of, like, some really freaky scenes like this, and also, well, a lot of the sexual jokes and stuff like that. Oh yeah. Actually, with the amount of impressions that I can do, I actually cannot do that. Like, my voice cannot go that high. And oh yeah, and also this is honestly a little joke where, like, it's all, people always say that it's nice poking fun at yourself, and it's true, and this is like a little jab at myself, because I know the biggest complaint that I get from everyone is that my voice is annoying or is too high-pitched or stuff like that. It's honestly really funny. So I decided to incorporate that. Why not? So, like, yes, I'm fully aware that, like, not a lot of people enjoy my voice, but I don't care. I want to be a voice actor, so that's kind of the most ironic thing about it. Oh, yes. Yes, and this is one of the parallels from the top 10 scariest. Excuse me about that, it's just my stomach is not cooperating. But anyways, this is one of the things why this parallels to the top 10 scariest Disney moments, and it's because of Something Wicked This Way Comes, which I have to be very honest, it is highly underrated. It really is. And oh yeah, and I even mentioned it right here that I put it on my top 10 scariest Disney moments, but it seriously is highly underrated. It's probably my favorite movie based on a Ray Bradbury adaptation. Oh yeah, and then there was also, and this is one of the frightening moments. And I will say that I remember in the top 10 scariest Disney moments, one of the things that people got shocked about is probably that one scene, the two kids run and then they realize that, like, they just see a kid's head being, like, one of the kids' heads being chopped off. It's not that it actually happened, but it's like they see a vision of it. But I gotta truly appreciate like the be careful what you wish for aspect, especially for a freaking Disney movie. Like the place where you always hear when you wish upon a star, and then suddenly this happens, like this serious dark turn. And even the movie itself, it was done during the period when Disney, they want to try out these dark elements. And like you could tell with this movie, The Watcher in the Woods, and also The Black Cauldron. But with this film, I have to praise Jonathan Pryce's performance. And I'll be honest, this is one of the, like, for me, this is his most memorable role. It's just like, he is absolutely phenomenal, and he pretty much makes this movie. Like, you could tell how he's such an evil ringleader. And like, also, I have to praise the like, pretty much the mystery behind the what is it, the Autumn People. And even this scene right here, oh my god, I think the library scene in Something Wicked This Way Comes is probably the most memorable scene because of the intensity there is. It's just, it's such, like, oh my god, it's just so good. I highly recommend that you guys go and check out Something Wicked This Way Comes. It's just a gorgeous, dark movie, and it's one of the best things that Disney has done to show their dark side. Oh, man, yeah, this is exactly how I feel about it. But anyways, I'm starting to notice that my time is up here, so thank you guys so much for listening, and I will see you guys in the part 2 of the top 10 other Disney villains. So with that said, see you later, dudes!